Well,
welcome everyone. This is the Tuesday, October 21st, 2025 meeting of the Harwich Golf Committee. Hi, Jay. Welcome. Good to have all of you here and to convene. I'd like to start with a Pledge of Allegiance, if we could. And we have both flags, the flags of the Commonwealth and I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for being here. We'll start with our public comment, and we welcome any comments that any visitors have. But before I do that, I want to welcome our newest member to the Golf Committee, Russ Couturier, our new member, and we're delighted to have you, Russ. And
Say that now.
With your agronomic background, it will be very helpful, I'm sure. We're delighted to have you. Before we begin the public comment, just remind folks, if folks have any comments they want to make about the agenda, we're pleased to have you here today. Anybody wish to speak?
Nothing.
You're always welcome, so thank you for being here and for monitoring the meeting. We appreciate your interest in all things Golf Committee. We'll go to the consent agenda, and we'll start with first a review of the minutes from June, which we need to approve before they can be posted. And give you a minute to take a quick look at them if you wish. And then when we're ready, we can have a motion made to approve the minutes. Do we have a motion to approve?
I motion to approve.
Second? Second? Any adjustments or modifications? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the minutes are so approved. We'll now move to the director's report.
great, thank you very much.
Roman, thank you for being here with us.
You're welcome. I'm going to keep this brief because I know we have a backlog of topics to cover later. So, in general, one thing I wanted to recognize was that we just completed our busy 2025 tournament schedule. I'd love to recognize our head pro, Dick Fagan, for running all those events so professionally, as he always does. He's a real leader of our team, and I appreciate all his work. That tournament schedule is daunting when you look at it at the beginning of the year, and all success. So appreciation to Dick, and thank you for all his hard work. A couple of contract updates. We're working on contracts with the town procurement team. The restaurant, the town administrator has been negotiating with Jake's on their one-year extension, and I was provided with a one-page. I had a chance to provide him with a one-page of instructions and suggestions that included recommendations from the leagues that I received. So positive negotiations are going on there. And one thing that I gleaned from his a conversation with the town administrator after his first round of negotiations is Jake's hired a new event coordinator that's going to, the promise is he'll be there to not only negotiate with the groups that want to have outings, but he'll be there on the outing day to kind of connect everything, make sure everything happens what was negotiated, which has been a problem in the past. And so
That's good, because, between Kate and the chef.
There's been a disconnect.
Did disconnect,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good.
yeah, so it's exciting. I think before we even had to bring it up to them, they recognized the weakness there, and they're taking steps to
That's good.
fix it.
That's encouraging.
Yeah, it was very encouraging, and I don't think I'm not sure when exactly the contract extension is going before the select board, but I know the town administrator, I saw him yesterday, and he said negotiations were going well, and he expects the contract extension to go to the select board for their approval shortly.
Okay.
Same with the golf instruction license. We have a new 5-year license with Miller Golf Coaching. That's a 3-year agreement with a 2-year extension available. And Bob Miller does a great job with our instruction programs. He was very interested in pursuing a new 5-year agreement, which is wonderful. And that's going to be fast-tracked. I think it's going to be on for Monday night select board meeting to approve that one.
He's very good about communicating opportunities, you
Yeah,
know.
they are.
And
They're top-notch.
I get the emails all the time,
Yeah, they're really top-notch about communication, and
yeah,
the golf industry, they reinvent themselves every year with what's new,
Yeah, they
and
do some
That's
good
wonderful.
stuff.
they do a
Yeah,
great
they
job. And then the golf cart extension, it proves to be a little bit difficult, but it's in the works. I was told initially by our procurement team we could handle an addendum with the current contract, and then they, once it kind of got right there onto the table, right before them to sign it, they said no, this is not appropriate. They want to do a whole new lease with the company for our existing carts. So I'm working on that right now.
Is that on our end, that,
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Well, the company said, oh, this is easy, and then they sent us an addendum directly to the select board, and eventually it was determined, no, that's not appropriate. They want to do a whole new lease.
okay,
So I'm working on it. It's on my table right now. And that's all I have.
It's still extended,
What's that?
still extending the existing.
Existing lease. Well, my plan is to, because I think it's going to be favorable. I've worked out terms with the company that are favorable for the town. The plan is to enter into a new 3-year agreement. Because the carts are in such good shape, the company's decided to offer us a 1-year extension on the warranty of the batteries. And the batteries are like everything with those golf carts. They're basically the whole cost of the cart. And so they're going to offer us a 1-year extension beyond what the manufacturer offers. So that'd be for years 1 and 2 of a new 3-year deal. And then my plan would be then the deal would would have the ability to break the lease with like 30 days notice, and so order a new fleet with the existing company after year 2 of the 3-year lease. And
so go to new vehicles
get a whole new fleet of new vehicles. With
and
the same
batteries,
company,
obviously,
same
yeah.
with batteries and everything. So we don't have to expose ourselves with having the batteries not on warranty.
Yeah,
Is there competition in that space?
Yeah, there is. We'll explore that when we get to it. Right now for the electric carts, I think we've got the most established lithium battery carts.
Yeah, it's good there's competition. I just worried, like, when they say they're gonna redo everything.
Yeah. Well, we have the good news is it could go out to bid if we wanted to, but the carts are all on state contracts. We don't need to.
Okay.
What does state contract mean, that they're automatically being,
They've been vetted by the state for all. What they do is they offer us their contract to the state to be vetted as a low price, the lowest price they can offer. So anything, we're encouraged to purchase anything on a state contract that we can.
they're like pre-approved as a bidder.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Doesn't mean they get it, but
Doesn't
they're
mean they get
they've got all the bells and whistles necessary to participate as a Commonwealth,
Because of that,
Yeah.
we can avoid the formal bid
right.
bid situation and just engage directly with a company that's been vetted by the state.
Cool.
And then that's all I have right there. I figure you'll probably have me go right into the course maintenance and projects.
Yep.
Everyone will keep on going?
Yeah,
Keep
okay.
going.
We turn out of the course maintenance projects?
Yes, course
Yeah.
maintenance, all right.
You're gonna cover that?
I will. So, all right, so we did have some questions submitted about some projects that we had ongoing. And so I'll cover those quickly, and then I'll talk about the irrigation project as well. Okay, bunkers. So what we're doing with bunkers is there's a whole rebuild on the town's capital plan for FY '29, and until that time, we're doing annual maintenance. We have money in our budget to edge them every year, add sand every year, and particularly this year, we're gonna have a nice opportunity in this off season to work on the bunkers, because with the new irrigation upgrade we're doing, we're gonna have one hole closed at a time this winter. And while that one hole's closed, we're going to send our maintenance team in to do some bunker maintenance. So the bunker should get a little extra maintenance this year, but edging and adding sand, basically.
Does anything happen, I'm sorry, does anything happen with the liners at all, or is that the major, do we have to wait for
FY
the?
'29, yeah.
Okay, we have to wait for 29 on that, okay.
That's when we'll dig them out and put in a new drainage system.
I don't want this to sound flip, but can they, like, sand the rocks out? I mean, sift the rocks out?
Yeah, so
I get a lot of complaints from people, because on my league, our league, that there's a lot of rocks.
Oh, there are. There definitely are. You know what's tough?
They're not
Yes,
small either.
No,
no, they do that. We will continue to have rocks in the bunkers though, because when you have rainstorms, they actually come up from underneath because that's what that liner was doing before, it was filtering it out. So what we're planning to do in FY29 is we're going back to simpler ideas,
yeah.
where these days the thing that's favored in the golf business is just taking a layer of sod and having an organic layer to sift out the rocks. And right now that layer is
So
missing.
those come up from underneath, huh?
Yeah, in rainstorms they do.
Yeah, so we're growing rocks,
Them and the worms.
but it's a liner that is impossible to keep them at
It's
bay.
porous.
It
No,
is
I didn't
porous.
realize that, I thought they came with the
And-
sand, but,
No, they don't
Good to
come.
know.
Well, maybe some do, but
Yeah.
we've done it. We send our whole team in to de-rock a bunker. You have the next rainstorm, they're all right back up again.
Huh,
to
alright.
rise to service. And then we have a new piece of equipment that I think I mentioned in the spring called Toro Dingo. That's going to be very helpful in bringing out sand to the bunkers. Because this is one more tool in our toolbox there to work on the bunkers.
Do we own that, or are we
Yeah.
sharing it?
I purchased. We own it.
Okay.
The capital plan, there's no changes at this point. FY29, we have the bunker renovation on the capital plan with the town for $900,000. And in FY30, we have the replacement of our original maintenance building for $2.5 million. Those are the two items currently on our town's capital plan.
That would be 2030?
2020, FY29 for the bunkers,
Bunkers.
and FY30 for the maintenance building.
In the meanwhile, do we have to protect things from getting flooded in the building or whatever? Isn't the building porous at the ground level, or am I
And it is-
imagining that?
It is. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I wasn't in there during the last week's rain, but I'm sure it was wet.
Yeah,
It's an old building, 1974, old metal building.
yeah.
What it should have
Probably
had.
rusted out at the bottom.
It is. That's the problem. So the rain, it's at the bottom of the hill too, so the rain just runs
Yeah.
right down, right through it. But it's okay it serves a purpose. It definitely needs an upgrade, and the town may choose to kick that down the road a little bit because right now they're favoring projects that generate revenue, and this one doesn't. But you know, if we ever as we get closer to FY30, which is it's on the plan for, I'm sure we'll have some tours of the building, and
What is this
it won't
building
show very
house?
well. All the mowers, all the equipment. There's a hot side and a cold side. We have one side of it gets heated. The other side's the cold side that just stores the equipment. And it's a big building. It stores all of our mowers and everything else. I mean, and then we have a side that does a shop in it, and the guy's break room, things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Moisture comes from underneath?
yeah, it does. Yeah, water runs right through it.
So it's a cost to the equipment by keeping moisture in there.
Yeah, it is.
So, while it's not a revenue generator, it is a cost.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. And as we start getting closer on, I'm sure the Capital Valley team will want to come down and take a tour of it, and they'll see the need. The need is not hard to see.
Is there any way to estimate what that cost is? I mean,
Yeah.
extra maintenance and extra loss of equipment?
At this point, no. But we did have a plan originally to reskin the building as part of when we built our car barn. That was part of that project, was to reskin the original maintenance building. And we got quotes. They said really that is beyond the
Right, you
reskin.
can't.
It needs
Yeah.
a full rebuild. And so our town facility manager, Sean Livy, evaluated it, and he's the one that gave us the price of $2.5 million and said it needs a full rebuild.
50 years,
Yeah.
it's 70s, right?
It's 74, yeah.
Sorry. Oops.
What did he say the cost would be?
$2.5 million.
Ugh.
50.
But it's not the skins that's causing the moisture, it's coming from beneath.
It's come from underneath, yeah.
So French drain around it wouldn't help?
It has one.
It has one,
Yeah.
doesn't work?
It does some. It doesn't. Like I said, it's built at the bottom of a hill. What's been recommended for it is that it needs a cement knee wall. That's what we built on our car barn, like a knee wall about this high. It just takes care of all moisture running through it. But this building also, over the 50 years, it's had a lot of bump outs built onto it. Like we have a lot of bump outs that hold other specific things, like
Yeah.
our chemicals are in a bump out off that building. some other storages on that building, so it was problematic to reskin it. So we're hoping to rebuild it in a very functional way where we have add some bays to the side of it for, where you can keep some dry sand and things. So it'll be a big help.
Is this in
2030,
2030?
2030.
And then we were asked a question about pin flags. I don't plan any changes for the pin flags because our staff, Sean Fernandez, recommends there's been so many benefits to that. He saves an hour to 2 hours a day of staff time, and the condition of the greens has never been better. I don't know if golfers have noticed new pin locations, and it's really, we're getting some positive feedback about that. Because they're able now to do new pin locations where they're not stuck with a quadrant of the green, for each green where they put the pins. So they're now able to move the pins based on wear and based on need, and so we don't plan any changes there. And the irrigation upgrade, I had in the packet that it was advertised in the Central Register and the Chronicle. We had a mandatory pre-bid site meeting where 3 bidders showed up. And then, I don't have the date here, but we had the bid opening at some point in September. We did receive 1 bid that fit the scope of the project. It was within our budget, so we're going ahead with that. I believe that will be going to the select board this Monday night for approval.
This coming week?
Yeah, and which is very important because the timetable is just right on the money to get it done this winter. And then after that, let's all just cross our fingers for good winter weather, and so we can get that project done in the off season. Doesn't creep into the spring very much.
You got to do it. You got to start in November, right?
The plan is, I believe that we've been in touch with the company. If they get the contract signed on Monday, then they will plan to be in November 10th.
How long does it take to do one hole?
One hole, the approximation is 1 hole per week.
Per week.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's a duration of 18 weeks.
Yeah,
give or
so
take.
in general, we're thinking, so we basically are not considering January, February work months, really. I mean, they'd love to work through it. The company would love to get this done, but realistically, with the temperature, if there's a frozen ground, yeah. So the 18 weeks, we're not necessarily counting January, February. But,
You might get lucky, but you may not.
yeah, right. And so it was actually it's in the contract that their completion date no later than June 1st. But we'd love to get it done sooner.
Yeah. And I would think par 3s will take less
Yeah.
time than par 5s.
Yeah, and par
Are
five.
they going to go numerically or
No.
no?
So I believe so. They're going to store all the equipment down in the maintenance area, which is close to the 14th hole. They'll probably, my indication is they'll probably start on 14 right there, and do 15, 16, 17, 18, and then work their way around the property
Yeah.
that way.
Do they need the path to be cleared before they
I
can get their equipment out there? We're supposed to put that new road in, right, where the trees were cut down
on 13.
on 13?
Yeah, there's no need there.
Okay.
There's no need there. They'll be able to get where they need to go.
It's exciting to see it moving. That's
Yeah,
great.
I mean, I'll be so excited if they sign the contract.
Yeah.
It was the contract total cost does not allow for a whole lot of wiggle room as far, they're kind of right up to our top number, which was, I think it was 2.5 million. I think it was $2.5 million. And so we're kind of right up against it. There's not a whole lot of contingency money, but we did check their references. This company's done a lot of golf courses in our area. They're from New York, but and we did some reference checks and asked that specific question: how many change orders were there?
Yeah.
How much contingency was needed? They built some contingency money into the bid, and the references we checked on said they did not need to go to change orders. They stuck with the original money. You never know if they're going to hit a water main or something like that, but we'll deal with that if we come to it.
And we're financing it.
Yes, we are,
Mhm.
out of our dedicated funds. And then I had questions about the golf course re-rating. We're on a 10-year schedule of if you have no new building necessarily on the golf course, no major changes, they'll re-rate the golf course every 10 years. The last rating was 2017, so we're gonna plan on a 2027 re-rating of the golf course.
Now, how will that be done? I wasn't around when we did the last one, but I heard that there was, that it's, there may be, I don't know why I'm gonna say the wrong words, there might be some issues with the current way it's rated, certain slope ratings or something, or what is it? That there's some work to do to, I think, get the green tea
Yeah.
rating.
Basically, just invite their team out. They rate everything, so they'll rate everything. It's a pretty simple process.
Just is,
Yeah, it's pretty. The hardest thing from my side of things is going to be people saying that rating's not correct.
Right,
And
that's what I
it's you just, I mean, you just got to accept it. Mass Golf, they're the governing body. They're the association that represents the USGA governing body. When they rate it, and so a lot of people say, nah, I don't think that's the hardest hole. I don't know this hole's way. I think your rating's different compared to captains. It doesn't seem right, but so people don't like change, and so I think there'll be a lot of there always is some people that fight it, but
yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Do they consider tournaments that have been held there in terms
No.
of what the rate, the
no.
highest,
Yeah.
most
how do
difficult
they do it?
holes are?
no, they don't. Golf's really with the introduction of the World Handicap System. They've gone to simplify everything. So like
Mm.
they don't even necessarily judge the 18 hardest holes and easiest holes. What they do is every 3 holes they want 1 hard, 1 middle, and 1 easy based on rating. So that if you're playing a match, like say I'm playing a match against John and where strokes fall, they don't want all the strokes to be at the back end of the match. So that maybe the match closes out before somebody gets their strokes. So every 3 holes they'd like to see a stroke in there. So that's why they do 1 hard, 1 medium, 1 easy hole every 3.
That skews it though, unfortunately.
It can, but it can. We'll do a little education because I know the USGA puts out a lot of information on that, and I think a lot of people get stuck in. Golf was so complicated before when they used to, when the onus was on golfers to know all this stuff, and now it's like hey, you don't need to know anything. Just post your score on your app, and we'll figure it all out for you. And but the USGA has put out some information on these changes, and they make good sense to me. I mean,
It'd be a good idea to do some education.
Yeah.
Because I do agree, I think you'll hear from various people.
Sure.
We can expect that, so I think education would be good.
Yeah, and so my plan is if in 2027 when we'll have the raters in the fall, because that way we order based on their new ratings. We ordered their scorecards in the winter, so we start the next spring with brand new scorecards, brand new rating, and that way it doesn't interrupt play that year.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Good, the new scorecards can say, please replace your divots. Yes.
I think I covered everything there.
Replace multiple divots every hole.
That'll be all, yeah.
And Mr. Chairman, that's all I had there. Unless there's questions.
I think the.
Short
Yeah,
course,
short course.
Oh, short course.
short course and putting complex. And
Oh, yep.
where does that stand these days?
It's on hold right now.
Still on
So
hold?
yeah, so that project is always planning on seeing some being affected with grant money, and so it's what we're doing right now. We're sitting on it kind of because the messaging we're getting from the town is nothing new, and I'll go over that. As well. That we're currently in a budget cycle. And our budget cycle is no new buildings. Let's take care of what we already have, nothing new, and then we're level funded which is basically a reduction in budget next in FY27, which I'm working on right now. The budget message from the select board was level funded, so that means same money we had last year for this year, even though
Strictly
costs up.
level funded or level funded with inflation, no?
Well, the select board message was level funded with inflation, basically level services, and then I met yesterday with this town administrator. He said level funded. And then we'll talk beyond that. If it's something we need beyond that, we'll talk about it.
Did you guys wasn't there a design and process for that?
Yeah,
Did that get done?
it's the contract is pretty much completed. The design's pretty much completed. What the architect still owes us is a public presentation of his design, and we're not trying necessarily to promote that project until it's
Yeah.
actually on the capital plan
Yeah, I
and
get
can
it.
get done.
Yeah, it was just,
Is a short course defined as a par three course?
So yeah. So short courses, they're all the rage right now in golf, and so what he designed was nine par three, a 9-hole par three course, in the wooded area between 14 and 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I took
And-
my daughter to Blue Rock. She's just starting golf.
Oh
and
yeah, it's great.
I can just envision, young kids starting to play Cranberry Valley short course, families getting together and learning the game a little bit. So
It's a great. I mean, it's a great idea, and that's exactly why we came up with the idea.
yeah, I would
So,
think it'd be a nice investment, but
Yeah.
not for the foreseeable future.
Well-
A lot of players go there, sorry, we're talking, but a lot of players go there that can't get on anywhere else. Right?
Blue
'Cause you
Rock
can
would
get
be-
on Blue Rock most of the time,
Okay.
regardless of how busy the other courses are.
Well, it is.
You cannot get on it.
You can.
You can get on it, okay. Okay.
I mean, I think Blue Rock's known as one of the best par three courses
Yeah.
in our area, in the Northeast.
They got a
I haven't
good-
played there in a
good
long
rate
time.
for it.
It's really fun. It's a really fun course. And there are these short courses are all the rage, like Pebble Beach. All the resorts have them. Pebble Beach, Pinehurst. They all have these new short courses. They're really fun. So the idea is either you go and you play the regular golf course, or and then you go grab drinks and you take a putter and a chipper and you go play the short course afterwards. Or as you were saying, what we always envisioned here was something for our first tee program or for people beginning to play the game, our high school teams, and basically that would give them somewhere to go play and not take up tee times on a big course. And so, but it's great for player development.
It's good that we have the land for it, but just not the.
Yeah.
So we do have the land to proceed if it gets
Well,
okay.
then that's really what we were pursuing to see. Can we design a golf course that would fit that area? And the answer is yes. And it's still squeezed. I mean, I think the holes that were designed were between 80, maybe them down to 70 and 120 yards around. So really cool. It would, if approved, we'd seek some grant money. And there is grant money out there for these things, and but it's not our current plans.
Yeah, if it's not on the, you're not gonna get any investment unless the town has shown an interest in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless something changes in the town, there's a lot of money being spent on this.
yeah. Well, there's I was working with the former town administrator, and he on a 501c3 that would be required to accept the grant
Yeah.
money, and so we'll have to pick that back up because there is a company
That's
that
not a problem,
yeah.
yeah.
There's a company, a golf course building company that showed interest in supporting the project to some degree, and that was what they required. They said we can't give you a cent without a 501c3.
Yeah.
So that's on hold at this point.
Yeah.
Before we proceed, I think this has been very useful, particularly for a couple of our new members to kind of get an idea of what's sort of on the schedule going forward. So this is very helpful, and I appreciate Karen raising the question. So, all of us can be kind of level set and understand what's in the pipeline coming down. And hopefully, if finances improve, we'll see even more,
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, that's good stuff, Roman, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, should I roll right into the rates and fee recommendations?
Yeah, and I think it might be useful to just kind of refresh everyone's memory that, this is an annual process for us. We usually start this and then eventually have both a public hearing based on the recommendations, once they're finalized, and then, so if things work out and we are able to proceed after today, in November, we would do the public hearing portion and then close it and then go into a golf committee meeting and recommend to the selectmen based on, what our considerations are. And that would be for next month.
That's been the process. Yeah, that's been the process.
Yeah,
And the recommendation that I provided was very bare bones. I really wanted to get the committee's feedback on this. So it's still right where it was last month when I first sent this out, and we were going to discuss it last month. I think it's appropriate to do the annual pass increases that I presented to you in my recommendation. because that's a historical, every other year we've been adjusting those rates.
Yep.
We've done every other year, either greens fees and card fees or annual passes. We didn't do annual passes last year. So all the others in the non-resident rate. So, so the recommendation, the most basic recommendation that I'm giving you today is a $100 increase for the non-resident annual pass, $50 increase to the adult annual pass for Harwich residents, $40 increase to the young adult category of Harwich residents, and $25 increase to the collegiate. And again, that's Harwich residents only. Other than that, one question I wanted to, I was hoping you would consider as well is after we talked about the irrigation project, I've been discussing this with our staff. If the project does go all the way to June next year, what would you consider a appropriate discount that we should offer on greens fees when you're playing a 17?
If holes are not accessible.
17-hole golf course, yeah. So, I mean, in general, our staff is supporting like a 15% off greens fees for the public play. But I'd love to get any feedback. Do you think, you know, what do you think is an appropriate discount for a 17-hole golf course?
Well, 17 holes versus 18 is, what, a 10% approximately? So you're playing 90% of your round.
Yeah, a little more than that, yeah.
90 from 195.
Yeah, a little more,
So
a little
15,
closer.
I think, is very generous.
I mean, we've always tried to do right by our customers. And I do think if you play golf course, it's not like I don't know, it's not like ordering a French fries and they took a French fry out. I mean, you don't complete the round,
Yeah.
and then God forbid it's the 18th hole, like it's where people figure it's a signature hole, or a match ends anticlimactically because they didn't get that final hole in.
Yeah.
So I think.
So you want to go a little
To
beyond.
do right with our customers,
Yeah.
I would like to, offer something where they didn't feel ripped off, or not necessarily ripped off, but
I think
slighted in some degree.
If 15% is the number, that's very generous. I think that's fair.
No, do you think too much?
Yes.
You do.
It might be a little,
Okay.
but if you want goodwill to be
Yeah,
Sure.
goodwill.
Well, so in May we very quickly get into our $90 greens fee, which is our top rate.
Yeah.
And with a card on that, that's $116. Yeah, that's a good amount of money to pay to play golf. I think it's important to not just say, oh, sorry, have golfers show up and just say, oh, sorry, only 17 holes.
Yeah.
Thank you for understanding. I'd rather see them get maybe a beyond what would be,
And the greens fees would be the only reduction.
yes,
And it's
Yeah.
just a short term
yes.
period.
Well, like I said, the irrigation project is scheduled to be completed by June 1st at the latest.
Yeah,
So we're looking at May, well, June, April, May,
So
basically.
green fees, I mean, golf activity in April, May, and June is not boisterous. I mean, it's not
Busier than you
huge
think.
demand. Is it?
Well, our leagues get going. And,
Yeah. I think you're gonna have a lot of unhappy annual pass members, to be quite frank. Without a full 18, and the whole handicap and all that stuff that many people worry about.
Well, that stuff, I mean, if you post, the gym program will put in a score for you for the hole you missed.
Oh, no, I know you can put whatever you want in there, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of support for the project in general, so I think our annual
That's
pass
true
holders
too,
will.
so I think that's absolutely true, Roman, yeah.
So
Yeah, people want the irrigation done.
I think our annual pass holders will be more understanding than just the general public who are on vacation here.
Yeah,
Well,
to your
because
point, $116 is a lot.
it's a lot of money to,
Yeah.
and to feel like you're missing something.
I think it should be generous for that group.
Okay.
So $90 is what, $5 a hole? So we're talking about $13.50 reduction?
Yeah, I'm trying to follow
15%
your
off
math. Yeah,
90?
15%. Yeah.
Off 90 is $13.50, right?
Yeah.
and
So,
if
so they'd be
we're
at
charging
a,
$5 a hole as it is right now.
so they'd be at a 75. They'd be around 75, and from 90 to about 75 or 76 and change.
It seems
Yeah,
seems fair to me.
I think if you get in the mid-70s, people would appreciate it,
I think you might have more people show up.
possibly.
With the reduction?
Yeah.
I That's a good thing.
Yeah, we could-
Volume.
We could, I don't know.
I think
Well,
10% doesn't seem like enough.
That's what I
20%
thought.
seems like too much.
Okay, that's kind of, I think, where we felt.
So I think 15 sounds,
Yeah. So you
Generous,
go
but
with
not-
15 bucks.
And then we could market that a little
Three
bit,
holes.
say, hey, we
not
thanks
profligate.
for bearing with us, that while we're under construction, we have 17 holes open, but we're offering you 15% off.
Yeah, I mean, have we ever done anything like this before? Any
No,
circumstances? No, so,
not that I remember doing.
yes.
We're in uncharted
Probably-
territory.
Right.
Well, I'm sure other courses have done it too, so it's something, might be something to learn there, but, for your friends that are in other courses, but I think it's fair. 15% would be fair.
Yeah, I think so too.
So it's ultimately 15 bucks. We're talking about 15, not
Well,
15.
so, I mean, the reason that I'd go more with the percent is we have so many different rates. We have resident
Oh,
rate.
right,
and
okay.
then we have twilight rate, we
That's
have weekday rate versus
Yeah,
weekend
that's
rates.
true.
75, so.
Weekday from March to May 23rd, March 18th to May is $50.
It's 50, yeah.
And then it goes up to 90 and drops down in the shoulder season of September to 70, and it's
When does it go
50 from the 30th of September to December 12th.
When does it go to 90?
It goes to 90 May 28th, which is just before
That's-
Memorial
Yeah,
Day.
that's the weekday rate.
Yeah.
After Memorial Day, it goes to 97 days a week.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, if they're anywhere close to their schedule, it's not a huge impact, so.
Yeah. May could be a busy month, and it's just see when we talk about the tournament calendar. May was a busy month for tournaments, but I've kind of tried to push those later now because of the projects, so that it won't impact them.
How do you anticipate the flow? So if there's one hole closed, like you have a lead, how are they gonna deal with that? Are they gonna ask to play one hole over to make it 18, or are they just
I
gonna
think
skip a hole and
my
take a
guess-
score?
My guess is I don't know, you probably take a certain, everybody
Take
takes a
net
certain.
par and something.
Yeah, like something like that, or.
Well, I'm asking, because you're gonna run into this.
Yeah, no.
Right? And
No,
that's
well-
where the complaints
well,
are gonna come from.
that's
Why
why-
wanna
that's
play
why-
all over again?
That's
No,
why
you can't.
that's why we'd rather offer a discount because
Right.
we can have somebody saying, yeah, I paid for 18, I'm gonna go move
Right.
clear everybody off one and play one again.
Yeah, exactly.
You
no,
can't
I
have
think-
that.
No, I think you have to say,
I don't disagree, but I'm just
anybody
trying to
that's
anticipate
scoring should take,
the risk event here.
I don't know, if it's, whatever, depend on your handicap, if it's just deal with it, I don't
Yeah.
know, just,
So
like,
I mean,
I'd probably do, depending on the
Run it.
hole, you know,
Yes.
bogey, double bogey, cause that's my
Doesn't the road
golf.
handicap system adjust for if
Yeah,
you
so
play
if you're
a complete
posing-
complete round?
it does. If you're posting on the GIN app, the GIN app will fill in the hole for you in a way that won't affect your handicap. And it's not necessarily net par. They was used to do net par. I don't even know what the formula is now, but it'll fill it in I got to assume something like a net par. It'll take your handicap into account, and then the hole and your overall round. It'll fill in. So you only have to play 14 holes now currently to get an 18-hole score posted.
To the
Interesting.
extent that we can explain that
Yeah.
before it
Right.
hits,
Right.
and also, maybe have, like, to your point, like a little training or whatever, but even for us in the league, like, to have, I would want some sort of like, what are my talking points to the league, cause I can reinforce it to our league, like, and we all can do that in our
Right.
leagues. But I think, to me, education or communication is everything on these things, and that we're all saying the same thing in all of our different areas we're playing. So I'm saying the same as the men's league and
Right.
the other, and whatever you're saying, we're just all in line, so we can all support the messaging.
Yeah, I
That's
totally
exactly
agree.
what I'm anticipating.
Yeah, so as
Yeah.
long
Trying
as,
to avoid that.
and that's for
Clash.
everything that big that comes out, right, to the extent that we can help support the messaging, it's just, we just need to know
Right.
what it is ahead of time, and we can do that with you.
So that's probably going to take us into the spring. When we get into the spring, into March or so,
Yep.
we'll be able to see where the project stands.
Exactly.
If it turns out great, they're going to finish the first week in April. There's no messaging needed.
Right,
needs to go out.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, but if, I'm just,
Or if it turns out
I'm also
they-
offering that too, so if there's, it looks like it's gonna be later, you need our help to get the messaging out,
Yeah.
to reinforce it, because that's what'll happen. You'll
Oh,
send
yeah.
something out, half the people won't see it.
Yeah, no, thank you. We will definitely plan to work with the leagues on that stuff.
Yeah, no problem.
So it sounds like we're in agreement that 15% sounds
That's fair.
appropriate.
Excellent. Thank you for that feedback. I'm going to go ahead with that. What are your thoughts on the other rates? Any feedback on the other rates for annual pass holders for
Yeah,
these fees?
as a member and a Harwich resident, I think the course just continues to have a good value. And the increase is fair, you know, based on other courses nearby, and so I'm fine with that myself.
Based on the market comparison too, we continue to have the lowest town-owned resident rate
Yes.
Yeah, the
for
only
an
diff-
annual pass holders.
I mean, Dennis is very close to us. With this increase, Dennis is very close to us, and they have 2 courses. But outside of them, the next one's pretty far away.
I've communicated with all the other towns, and they're all in different stages of their rates and fees for next year.
So maybe
and-
they'll go up.
And they're going, I think Dennis planning on going up 5%, which they handle it more on a percent.
$50.
But the rates here would keep us still at the lowest rate.
I think it's a great value. If you play enough.
There's no argument, it's a great value.
So these rates we're looking at are their current rates.
Yes, current, this year, FY20,
And
or,
our proposed one is at the top.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
to
I'm-
me, that seems fine. I don't see how carts can keep going up every 2 years.
Yeah, so I didn't recommend them.
No, not this
No,
year,
it's
but
not.
I get that, I just think about next year going up. When you get close to $30 on carts, that's gonna be tough to.
Yeah, it'll, I mean, the industry will go there, the industry's heading there, for right now, I think, the last time I checked with the golf cart companies and monitors stuff, $30 is the current private golf course rate, average rate for a cart, and 25 is the average, not public rate, yeah. So
Yeah,
they're
ju-
going there, but I don't see
Yeah, I
the
don't think
need.
right now, I'm just saying later on,
Yeah.
as we keep
Mhm.
doing this, you know, as you keep, everything's gonna always keep going up. I just think at some point, it's gotta level out,
Yeah.
otherwise
Yeah.
it becomes crazy.
Carts are expensive,
Yeah.
and there's no discount. If 2 people are taking a cart, there's no discount. You're paying
Right.
full price, basically, so I've seen that complaint.
But we do offer a
Yeah,
discount
that-
for pass holders.
Yeah, yes, we do. And, you know, I think
Somebody
the,
was complaining
Actually,
about
there
that
was
recently.
another email to you about that from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was, you know, my philosophy in doing the rates is the carts are like a user fee, and I know some people that have a disability or for whatever reason, they always need to take a cart. I think that that's one of the reasons I want to keep the annual pass price low, so that even if you have to pay for a cart and it's a more expensive golf cart, you paid a lower annual pass.
Mhm.
So you're paying less entry fee
Yeah.
and more
Right.
for the user fee.
It
And
makes
then
sense.
one thing I would point out too is that, you know, we really needed a correction on the non-resident annual pass.
Yeah.
And so this will be the 7th straight year we've gone up $100, but it's still right in that perfect zone, I think, where it's the ratio between the resident and non-resident is like the same exact ratio that all the other towns use. And so it took us that raising it by $100 7 straight years to get there, because it was really, it's skewed. But what do you think about that, the 7th straight year increasing $100 for non-residents?
Doesn't hurt my.
I don't have a problem with it
I don't either.
personally.
Well, that's what helps keep our rates down.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
But I
And,
mean, I also look at, look what we're at, whatever, we're at 1360, you're proposing $100. And I know some of these courses have some of these places have 2 courses, but I think a Brewster, $2,400 for a
Yeah.
non-resident, that's a lot of money.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
And I-
But
it's not hurting our sales.
Well, they've got
Yeah,
two.
no, I know,
Well,
but I think.
They've got 2 courses too.
No, I know, that's my
included-
point. I think
mean,
that-
so I included a spreadsheet for you on your past sales, and we've gone up 7 straight years, and we've not seen a decrease in non-resident rates. So I
think it's still reasonable.
think it's better to go up $100 a year and to keep doing that than to have maybe one major correction year where we
Right.
Yeah, you will hit something where they all said that enough's
Yeah,
enough.
too much, yeah.
Exactly.
But it's,
So we had 333 non-resident.
Yes. So it hasn't affected those numbers.
Do we know what towns they're from? When we say non-resident, is it Chatham, is it?
Chatham is the largest.
Sue is the
Yeah,
largest.
If you, well, back
109.
when we used to have a category 4 Chatham, they were 232 out of the total 330 or so. So
Yeah,
they're
a
a
lot of
significant
it's
number.
Chatham.
And then East Ham and Orleans was another category we used to track.
Mm.
We had like 50 from there. But
Yeah, the people I played with, I asked where they're from, and some say Chatham, some say Orleans, some say Wellfleet.
And that's
Yeah.
where I get it mostly down.
I've met people though on the opposite end of the spectrum, so they're a member of Harwich, they live in Harwich, but they go by a non-resident in Dennis because they can't get out.
Oh,
I have met some people doing that as well.
Well, that's.
Well, I
that's the
think
other-
you get people that go down to Florida, right, and I guess this is what I've heard from some of them, it's so expensive down there, so to come back here and pay $2,500, $2,400 or something seems like it's small, cause they're paying thousands and thousands down there.
we do have one informal league that plays Sunday mornings, and they all have a second. They all have an annual pass in Harwich or have residents in Harwich. But they also have a secondary one, and they did Dennis one year, they did Yarmouth one year, just so they can keep their points low, so they get their Sunday morning tee times. And that's one of the league rules: is no playing during the week. And if you don't play during the week, you go play your secondary course, so that we can keep our points low. So when we use the Chelsea system, we get our tee times.
So we've got a number of players that have multiple
Yeah.
memberships.
Yeah.
I don't really see a problem with raising the fee,
No.
if that's the case, right? I mean,
Well, but then I
I
think.
don't know how many you have, but
I do think it's also, it's a municipal golf course. It's important not to outprice people in the community
Mhm.
also. So, to keep the price low we wouldn't want to outprice people that want to play golf.
I
Yeah.
totally agree.
And then when I did a presentation earlier in the spring, if you remember, if you were here, about the value of the annual pass. And, we had 20-something people play 100+ rounds. So I hear that all the time that I can never get out, but people are finding a way to get out. I mean, we have 20 people playing 100 rounds, and we have, when you take the number down to how many people playing 60+ rounds, a lot of people playing 60+
Mhm.
rounds of golf. So
Yeah, you give an
So-
example of an individual who paid like $15 a round or something like that.
7. I think I got
Yeah,
got
it's
it
gotta
down to
get lower than
7.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's something, but yeah, you can get out there, you just gotta be a little patient, creative,
Yeah. Yeah, we have every.
Tired.
and get up early.
Retired, yeah, that's true, it helps.
Retired definitely helps.
Yeah.
Well, so this is a bare bones, kind of based on historic trend recommendation. If everybody's comfortable with it, I'm comfortable with. So like I said at the back page of it, it has potential to increase our revenue 75 grand, which is about appropriate, I think, with the expenses that are going to go up in our budget. So, yeah, I'm comfortable with that moving forward and taking that to selectmen and seeing how they.
Yeah, I don't think there's nothing that's egregious in here. It all seems fair.
Well, the one thing, Mr. Chairman, that I would say is, let's keep it open until we have the public hearing and see what the public has to
Yes.
say. So this is a bare bones recommendation right now. Once we hear from the public at the public hearing, then we
Yeah,
can
if
decide.
something comes up in the hearing that we have to respond to, we can make an adjustment.
Right.
Yeah.
When is that hearing?
It'll be the 18th of November. It'll precede our meeting. But we'll start at 4 o'clock and we'll have the public discussion and we'll see what comes out of that. And then when that's finished, we will adjourn and move into the golf committee portion and then decide whether to move forward and make the recommendation going forward. And then the selectmen have to accept it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're hyper focused on revenues these days, and so they may say not enough.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
what
may
I'm
say this is, you're not addressing them enough. But in my 10 years going before them, they've never said that. But
Yeah.
I know these days they are very hyper focused on revenues.
About 18th, right?
Yeah, we really need to make sure we have a quorum for that meeting.
Yeah.
I think we can have the public meeting without a quorum, but I'm not sure we can have the,
Yeah.
we can't have a golf committee.
No, you can't,
Well, it's
you
the week
can't.
before Thanksgiving approximately, but sorry.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think nobody would be taken off for holidays that early, but
That concludes that
Yes.
portion. So you're going to have a quick review of the tournament schedule?
Yes, so this schedule's always fluid to some degree, but at this point, you'll see the final column I added, this is which tournaments were confirmed.
Yeah, I see
on the right
that.
side. So we have a lot confirmed. The Harwich Fire, they want to wait and see how our project's going, because I told them, you know, I had a quick funny negotiation with them where they said, no, we'll gladly move to June, but we want to pay our May rate. I said, no, that's not really going to work for me. So they said, well, we'll wait and see that. So the Harwich Fire Association wants to wait and see how our project's going. And
Yeah.
basically pick a date for 18 holes after that event, or after that project's been completed. Other than that, most of the stuff on here is the same. If you remember, we added the tournament last year, just the CCK Invitational on May 29th. That was the group I told you, it was 100 people that was all paying full rates. They wanted a shotgun. I've actually engaged a second group that wants to do the exact same thing called the Bogey Logie on June 19th. So
When is that?
June 19th. It's a Friday. They want to have a shotgun start.
But that financially, that's very good for us.
Very good, paying full rate, full carts, and they're doing a banquet in the restaurant afterwards. Yes, sir.
yeah, they stick around and have some food and drink.
Bogey Logie.
Boy,
And they're an event that's been playing in Cranberry Valley for a long time. They've just been in a tea time block. They're interested in having a shotgun this year. And so I told them 80 people minimum
Yeah.
for the shotgun.
Is that our minimum, 80?
Yes. And then
Looks like there's more
so
prospective tournaments. Is that true?
not necessarily. So that Bogey Logie, that would be a new one. But then again, I mean, that's really only adjusting by 20 players. So they've always had 60 in tea time. So
Yeah.
they're going to move up to 80 for a shotgun. What's new on here is September 18th through 20th, the PGA Junior League Northeast Regionals. That's a weekend in
Okay.
it's a weekend in September where they need tee times basically 9:30 to 3 to have a big showcase event for the golf course on an event that we've always supported with our PGA Junior League. You know, Dick Fagan, our head pro, runs PGA Junior League locally, and this will bring in teams from all over the Northeast U.S. It's a great showcase. The last time we hosted it was about 5 years ago, and we actually had Susie Whaley, who was at the time the president of the PGA, who brought a team here. So it's an exciting showcase. I always try to have a showcase for the golf course like that because our marketing budget is so low that these events are great for marketing. And you know, our golf course marketing is like 2% of our gross sales. In general, industry wide, it's 6%. 6% or so. So we make that up by having some showcase events that'll help with the marketing of the golf course.
hey,
And
these,
then-
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
These early tournaments that are gonna be around the irrigation project, so they're gonna be 17-hole tournaments?
Yes. So,
And they're okay with that?
well, if you see the far right column I had on here,
Oh,
I am not confirmed on the Cape Cod Schoolgirl tournament. I reached out to them and told them that. And the chances are they're looking for another golf course to hold that event. The SLU Military Golf Association, I haven't communicated with them yet, but that's a we are their home on Cape Cod. We're the Cape Cod chapter of that.
Yeah.
So they'll play here. They play. That's a gratis event. They don't pay a green fee to have for the post 9/11 disabled vets and that. So I'd say that they'll take it and like it, but chances are they will.
We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, we're their home on Cape Cod, so they'd want to play here, even if it's only 17 holes. And then so I'm kind of got my fingers crossed for that May 29th event because the project could still be going on, could be finishing up, but the Friday before the weekend that turns into June 1st, I'm gonna take my chances and say, we'll have 18 holes open.
might be good to get it done in May.
But then you'll say, it will be, and I think we will. You'll see that for spring team, that's a women's event through Mass Golf, and I've been in touch with them. They said we can write them a letter and request be a travel team this year because they don't want to have our event on 17 holes only. So when I put in, our women will still be able to participate in that league, but when we're supposed to host an event here at Cranberry Valley, we'll take a year off basically and request to be the travel team this year and not host an event. Other than that, everything else is very similar. I worked with all the leagues to get their dates. They're all kind of doing the tournaments they traditionally do. Oh, and then one thing I would mention is we have a new schedule for like maintenance. If you'll see if you're looking at the schedule on the second page, we're going to do our golf course maintenance instead of having a Wednesday all morning maintenance, which we currently do, where we delay the start of the golf course an hour off the first tee, and we have no back nine play allowed. We're going to instead do Tuesday mornings no earlier than 7 a.m. start for the women's 18 holers, and do front nine maintenance that day. And
You
then
do that before
Before we
7
start.
a.m.?
before you start,
Before
yeah.
7 a.m.
But we will still start the back nine at 6 as normal, because that accomplishes. So when we talk to the 9-hole women's league, they're actually anticipating some growth next year. So they're thinking they're going to have 8 to 12
they'll
new
get
players.
more, yeah.
So that'll accommodate their growth. So there'll be 3 hours of 9-hole tee times.
That works out pretty good,
Yeah.
actually.
Works out great for them. Works out great for the request I got from the women's 18 holers.
Yeah, we
It's
want
not
to
start before
at
7.
yeah.
So we're gonna do maintenance that morning on the front nine, then on the back nine on Wednesday we'll do maintenance. So because we don't need to do the front nine, we can open at 6 on the front nine as we do every other day of the week, and we can actually accommodate these sweeps for an extra hour of tee times, which is something they've been asking for years.
Oh, wow.
So we're able to offer the leagues more. We're
Good.
trying to accommodate some requests there.
Well, that's good.
And then you'll see I've done events not yet scheduled on the second page here that we probably won't pursue, which is a Mass Golf Qualifier, New England PGA events as we're hosting the PGA Junior League, Cape Cod Women's Golf League. I may end up finding an event for them, an event date.
Those are all possibles?
Those have traditionally been on our calendar.
Yeah.
And then, so I've been in touch with them, but we haven't negotiated a date yet.
Okay.
We may not. And then one thing I wanted to mention, back to the PGA Junior League Northeast Regionals on September 18th through 20th, the PGA is giving us $23,000 to host that event. So it basically works out to a $70 greens fee for every day they need. So it's a slightly discounted, but I think for the positive exposure we're going to get, it's great. And I've worked out a schedule so that all the tee times that they don't use those days will be annual pass holder. Because PGA is paying for the tee times they're taking, annual pass holders will get the rest of those days, the mornings before and the afternoons after the event.
And that starts at 9:30?
Approximately, I think
Yeah.
the Friday and Saturday, it's 9:30 to 3:30, and the Sunday, it was a little bit different because Sunday they go to I think they cut down tournament with this. It's a little bit smaller window on
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah.
But those are going to be big days for the restaurant because those are families, kids under 13 mostly, and so we've hosted this event in the past. Those are big days for the restaurant because they'll prepay for the kids, but the family and siblings will all want to eat as well, and so they'll all go through the buffet line and pay as well.
Yeah.
So in the past, that was always the biggest day of the restaurant of the year. Any questions on this calendar? I know it's kind of busy.
It really is, it's pretty active.
Yeah, what you've done is you try to keep the middle of the summer kind of freed up,
Yes.
pretty much. And-
Yeah.
And that's where the
Figure all of
high-
our annual pass holders are here and wanting to
Yeah.
play, yeah.
Mm.
So that's good. It would be tough to work around a heavy tournament schedule and the summer demand.
Yeah, that's worked for us in the past, is pushing the tournaments out to the spring and fall and keeping the summer mostly open for maximum greens fees and for maximum play by pass holders.
Is there any concern that those folks that don't want to play because of 17 holes available won't come back again? Is there,
Yeah, so you mean the events?
yeah, the event, for the
Yeah.
event. So like you mentioned a couple that said, well, it's 17 hole, we'll go somewhere else this year. But once they go somewhere else, is it harder to bring them back? or?
So I think on this calendar right here, we've captured all of our events we've traditionally done. The one I wasn't able to really nail down was Harwich Fire Association. And they're not looking to go anywhere else
Yeah.
necessarily. They just want to track the progress of of our project.
Right.
And then maybe negotiate a day. I wouldn't be shocked if they tried to go over my head and go to the select board and say, hey, look, here's the deal. You know, we're one of you guys, we're the Harwich Fire Association, and we want a special rate.
Yeah.
But that's why they did not want to take a date later in June, or into June, because they didn't want to pay that rate.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I was in a position to offer them a discounted rate beyond what they already get, because the insider rate for charity events is half greens fee and full cart fee, so they already get a very good rate.
Yeah, that's
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, they should be happy with 17 holes. They'll have better scoring rounds.
They are our biggest tournament every year. They pack 144 golfers on the golf
Is
course.
that right?
Every golf cart, two groups per hole. Yeah, and they do a great job fundraising.
Wow.
It's nice. Should plan it.
Yeah, they should.
Well, it's an ambitious schedule.
It is ambitious, but we've always had ambitious schedules,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
it's not new. Another big highlight is the New England PGA was thrilled with the outcome of what they call the Super Junior Day that we do in the end of June, where we have the New England PGA Junior Tour and the Drive Chip and Putt Qualifier on the same day. That was an idea that the New England PGA had last year. They said it was a huge success, so they recommended that one more time
Mm.
instead of having a separate day for each.
There was some kind of contest on YouTube where you competed in, if you won, a bunch of guys came and played here at Cranberry. I know I happened to be there that day. I'm like, oh, this is the, I forget what the
Yes.
thing was. Is that something that's repeating again, or is that,
No, I have no request for that. That was a one-off.
or was it one of
But well, I'll share the link when it comes available. That was one of the a very modern YouTube company called Breezy Golf.
Right.
They sell. Did you see that?
I haven't seen it, but I.
Have you ever seen that? They had the golf hats. They have a day on them. That's
Right.
that's their tagline. And they so some kids from Worcester, if I get this right, submitted won a contest where they had to submit over 500 submissions. And what Breezy Golf was looking for was a buddy trip that's been happening for 10 plus years, has a good history, and they wanted to sponsor the whole event. So they paid the greens fees at Cranberry Valley since these guys won. They filmed them the whole way around the golf course. They interviewed them between shots and everything. And they actually bought an extra hour of tee times. I made them buy an extra hour of tee times just because I knew how slow they'd be, because they're getting interviewed between every shot. Actually, there was only 12 golfers, and they bought 2 hours of tee times both days of the weekend. They filmed them back at the house, having fun and doing a pairings party and playing wiffle ball to see who would get an advantage.
It was quite
It was crazy. And so it could be the big viral hit on YouTube when it comes out, which I was told it could be Black Friday weekend.
Oh, okay.
But that was a one-off.
Yeah, but it was.
It was a national contest, and
It
it
was
just happened
really-
the kids from Worcester won it, and so they chose Cranberry Valley.
That's how they ended up here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
They
people
were
with
nice
those
guys.
hats.
They were nice
Have
guys. They
you
all
yet?
dressed alike. They were nice guys. They
You
were-
met them that day?
I happened to be walking off the back, and they were the big tour bus thing pulled in, and
Yeah.
they're all getting off. And
The
they-
professional Hollywood film crew.
Yeah,
was-
yeah, oh yeah. They had professional audio video. They had like uniforms on. They had the same clothes. Some of them had the same clothes on. Like
Yeah, no, they did the
Same
outfitted
shirt,
uniforms
same hat.
because it was a
That's
Ryder Cup format, so they
Oh,
they
jeez.
put one team in one color, one team in another
Right,
color
right.
both days. They outfitted them all in their gear because the company is quite well known that it's their hat was the fastest selling hat at Dick's Sporting Goods last year.
Oh, yeah, see that? So they got some press. This is a good thing to leverage for Cranberry Valley for sure.
So I mean their videos usually get a huge amount of views, so we'll see
Yeah.
when it comes out. I think they're going to put out a video series based on that event, and
It was just this past year, Jay?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it was in June. I believe May or June.
Yeah. Sometimes you just luck out and just find these things. I play often enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Entertaining.
Yeah. It was very entertaining.
I'm hoping it's a great showcase for the golf course.
Yeah.
I would think so. The word of mouth is what.
I catch the ad every once in a while on the cable, you
Yeah, I
know?
did too.
Our
Oh,
ad.
sure. Yeah, we advertise.
Horse looks great.
Doesn't it? Yeah, maybe time to update that ad pretty soon, but we have, our advertiser does a good job of placing us in sporting events, and so we get pretty good play during the PGA Tour events, or anything. If the Red Sox make the playoffs, then we'll get some play. We get good placement this year for
Yeah.
the Red Sox playoffs or Celtics. So that's all marketing we deal with.
It's good, though. Okay, no further questions on the tournaments?
Thank you.
All right.
Really good job.
We have one piece of business left. We're overdue for the election of our golf committee officers. We have to elect a chair, a vice chair, and a clerk. And I would be interested in continuing if it meets the approval.
Yeah, second.
You got it.
And we need a vice chair, and I'd like to nominate Jay Adams to serve as vice chair.
But, no. Yeah, no,
Second.
I can't do as good a job as you, Paul, but I'm happy to
Well,
help you out.
pray for my good health.
Every day.
We do need a clerk, someone to sign off on the minutes. Anyone interested in serving?
Yeah, just if I could throw out on that, when I originally took that job, what I didn't realize is there's a member of the.
Mike
that
Mike
does the
Sargent.
minutes based on the recording.
Yeah,
So it's a rarity that you actually have to do the minutes, but if for some reason the recording doesn't go, you are expected to have the minutes, so you probably wanna take notes. Just thought I'd throw that out there, cause there's no job description otherwise.
All right, I'll be open and give that a shot.
all right. I nominate John to serve as clerk. So we have a slate of officers. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and we have elected our officers for the coming year. Thank you all very much,
Great.
and appreciate it.
We get new emails.
Before we adjourn,
Yes.
I'm approaching, this is my first year of semi-retirement, having a lot of anxiety, need things to do. Is there anything that I can do beyond attending these meetings I mean, do you need help with grants? Do you need help digging a ditch? I don't care, but is there anything that I can do beyond attending the meetings?
I can tell you from our side, we do every now and then have volunteer opportunities, so I could definitely, in the golf season, put you to work with some volunteer opportunities.
Sure.
But, and then as far as grants go, maybe that may be something coming down the line. As far as digging ditches, we don't take volunteers for that, but
They won't let us.
Jay's been begging too.
Yeah, I was trying to say, could we get a committee together to do some upgrades to like the plantings and whatnot, why not, in the town administration, it's a liability.
Liability issues?
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as, volunteers, we do have events that require volunteers from time to time.
This calendar will definitely have a few
Yeah.
events we
Yeah.
need volunteers.
So if you're open to that, Russ, it would be appreciated.
Just need to find something to do.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Need hobbies to make for time.
If there's no other business, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. Seconded. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and we are adjourned. And once